Okay, so once you've imported your pictures from the camera, you need to open the flower or nature picture that you took um, in Photoshop, not in Design. So we're working in Photoshop here. And you're going to use the crop tool right here, and you're going to make sure that it's 1 inch by 1 inch in width. And then you're going to crop out a section of it. Now, once you crop out that section, don't forget you can grab it and move it around and find something that you really like. I find that sort of diagonal lines work really well, but you might want to try a couple of different crops. Once I've got it cropped, I can hit enter, and now I've got a cropped piece of that image. So then you're going to go to File New, and you're going to make this 16 inches by 16 inches. Make sure that you're selecting inches because if it's pixels, it's going to be very small. And don't forget your resolution should be 300 and your background white. And you can hit OK. All right. So now you've got your two parts here to put together. If you don't see them side by side, you can do some maximizing or some minimizing to make sure that you can see them side by side. Then all you're going to do is click on the flower or nature picture and the move tool, which is right here. And what I do is I do Control A, which selects the whole little image, and then I bring it over, and I do that 4 times. I found that this works a little bit better than trying to duplicate the layers by itself. And I'll minimize that and maximize this so now I can see all of that. Make sure your layer palette is open so you can see all of the layers here. Yours might be over here to the side. I just moved it so that you could so I made sure you could see it. And now you're going to tile these in place. You are going to need to probably hit the move tool in between each one. And you're going to need to make sure that you're selecting the right layer. You can't move anything unless you're selecting the right layer. So if I go to this one, I now can grab this one. The other thing that you should see is that this button is checked because that way you can see the handles and you can decide if you want to turn it or how you want to flip it. So if you just want to flip it upside down or if you want to grab it and flip it around this way, whichever works best for you. So I'm going to create something like that. You do have to make sure that you flip it the right size. And I'm going to move them together so you don't see the white. Oops. Control Z works, don't forget. I'm going to go to my next layer. If it doesn't allow you to go to a layer, click the move tool again and hit apply. Then go to your next layer. I'm going to move that one in and I'm going to flip that. You're going to have to play with it. I do that and then bring it down just a hair so you blend the two layers. And then my last layer, click the move tool, hit apply. Last layer is right there. It's kind of a cool pattern. Once you have that layer applied, you might want to zoom in and make sure that you can see all four because you're going to want to make sure that they are flush, that there are no lines showing. Sometimes I turn off the transform controls and really zoom in. I'm using the Control plus plus to move in. So that looks pretty good. I like that foursome. You could, I might turn back on my, I might flip this and see what that's going to look like. That's a little bit more interesting. Let me get right there. And if I do the same for the other layer, hit apply, grab this one. I'm going to flip that one too just to see what that does. And that's kind of neat. I kind of create sort of this diamond Look, you got to make sure that they flush back up again. Turn off my transform controls. Kind of like that better. Just a little bit different. I have this neat line here and this middle part, which is kind of cool. So I think I'm going to use that as my foursome. I'm going to check and make sure there's no white between the boxes. So now I've got a larger box and I can click on the first layer, hold down shift, click on the last layer. I'm going to right click merge layers. So now this box is, this foursome is one unit now. So if I hold down Alt while I click and drag it away, I can create another one. Make sure it's flush. I can Control Alt, pull it away, make sure it's flush, Control Alt, pull it away. Sorry. Alt, pull it away. And it's okay if it goes off the page, not a problem. And just keep doing that. Hold down Alt and pull it away. And now you can drag that one over here. And you're just going to do this until the whole pattern or the whole white space is filled. Once you've filled all of the white space, I would highly recommend zooming in and making sure that you don't have, like, see this tiny white line? That will show up a lot larger when you print it larger. So I would make sure that you have zoomed in by hitting Control plus plus and make sure that you have the white spaces taken care of. Control 0, don't forget, will grab you back out real quick. And it's kind of cool as I'm creating this. I'm seeing this interesting. Oh, by the way, I just used the arrow key to move that over just one. Kind of see this neat white diamond that's appearing that I hadn't anticipated appearing. So kind of liking that. So once you have it completely finished, and I'm not going to, well, I might as well, I guess, finish it real quick just so you can see and make sure I'm happy with it. Okay, so that's my kaleidoscope. Kind of cool, right? So then once you've, I want you to save this, call it, you know, Miss C's kaleidoscope or whatever you'd like to call it. And then I want you to save it as a JPEG. So once you save it, the first time it'll save as a PSD file, which remember is a Photoshop file. And make sure that you've zoomed in and you've checked all of the connections. And then you're going to do a save as, and this time you're going to do a JPEG. You see the JPEG choice. You can leave it as the same name. You can take out copy if you want because it'll be a different extension. And then you're going to hit save. The quality should always be 12 and then hit OK. Now this is going to get uploaded into Google Docs, into the resource folder. You'll see one called Kaleidoscopes. You're more than welcome to do more than one and then pick your best one and put it up there. I will only print one per person because this does take a lot of ink. So anyway, there you go. There you have it. And good luck. Have fun.